looking to improve off a decent, though not entirely dominating 5-inning start last Sunday in Washington. Zack Wheeler was instead chased from today's contest with 2 outs in the 5th inning. The most alarming stat of the day had to have been the 7 walks issued, a career high for the righty. However, 51 strikes on 103 pitches and 7 earned runs aren't too far behind in what would eventually translate to a 12-9 loss in Wheeler's first decision of the year. Wheeler's first free pass came to Adam Eaton, the first batter of the game, on 4 fastballs off the outer part of the plate. He quickly turned the page with nifty grounders off the bat of Howie Kendrick and Anthony Rendon, the former leading to a 6-4-3 double play and the latter coming on just 3 pitches. The first major hitch would come around in the 2nd frame, when Wheeler again began matters with a leadoff walk, this time to Juan Soto. After Kurt Suzuki dunked a slider into shallow left center and Wilmer Difo drew a walk of his own on 5 pitches, Wheeler's lack of command began to show itself. Opposing pitcher Max Scherzer snuck a ground ball base hit into left to plate the game's first run before Victor Robles singled on a 2-0 fastball down the plate to bring the order back around. At that point, Wheeler again stumbled versus Eaton, falling behind 3-0 before giving up a full count double that hopped over the left field wall to give the Nationals their 3rd and 4th runs of the day. Scherzer would score following a 111 mph sacrifice fly off the bat of Kendrick, the last dent in the first 5-run inning off Wheeler since June of last season. Wheeler threw 33 total pitches in the 2nd with just 15 strikes. Nonetheless, manager Mickey Callaway intended to keep his liberally used bullpen out of the picture, sticking with Wheeler for the 3rd. All told, the righty responded relatively well, striking out Soto on a 1-2 slider before notching 2 weak groundouts to seal a 13-pitch 3rd. The 4th inning was equally efficient, as Wheeler again retired the side in order. He capped things off with a strikeout of Robles on another good slider. All of a sudden, Wheeler and his 71 pitches looked capable of churning 6 innings out of an otherwise tough start. A 2-pitch 1-3 ground out of Eaton to begin the 5th pushed this sentiment a step further, though the momentum promptly plummeted. Wheeler walked his 4th and 5th hitters with the next 2 plate appearances, and despite recording a 2nd out on a Soto flyout, he couldn't finish it off. With the same combination of 96 to 97 mph fastballs that had missed earlier in the day, the righty walked Ryan Zimmerman to load the bases, before a high 3-1 fastball to Suzuki brought home the 6th Nationals run of the game. Wheeler was lifted for Tim Peterson, who brought one more runner home thanks to a wild pitch, though the damage was left at that. Wheeler now owns a 10.24 ERA and 1.86 WHIP in his 9 2/3 innings of work, and despite allowing just 4 hits, tossed just 13 first-pitch strikes to his 24 batters, a far cry from the 16 he amassed against just 22 the prior week. Much of his struggles today can be attributed to both his lack of command and generally slower tempo. It should be known that Wheeler has never been much of an early bloomer, as his 5.40 ERA and 1.48 WHIP through the first 2 months of last season can confirm. Though with that in mind, the elements of his successful second half are still very much in place. Steering the rough opening in a better direction shouldn't be too difficult for a pitcher of Wheeler's caliber, both in terms of his potential and his experience.